Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us here today on Twitch.tv in order to celebrate a little thing called faith. Now, faith is not a game that I've ever heard of or that I know anything about, but I know that nothing called faith could be anything less than a holy and life-giving experience. My brother, Dumpster Man, has kindly allowed me to be here today to experience it with you all. And I'm excited to dive into the world of faith with all of you. In the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us begin our journey into faith. Hello, good people of Twitch. Today I will be teaching you about faith. Nothing more, nothing less. I think this will be a beautiful and holy experience, much like my last appearance on this stream, where we discovered what it's like to be a priest in Poland. Today we will learn about faith. I suppose we shall begin. I suppose we should just begin. My brother will be back later. He'll be playing some sort of evil game called Getting Over It. Something like that. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful start. Loading scriptures, loading blessings, loading hymns. This really is the game for me. Have I missed anything? No, you are just in time for the beginning of my scripture. It's the game is showing up. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, wow. This is a bit of an odd-looking game. I'm not sure what to make of this. But no game called Faith could possibly ever contain anything unholy. I don't believe, at least. Hello, Chico.
21st, 1987. It's been 1 year since I first went inside that house. I have to finish what I started.
Alright.
What I am about to do has not been approved by the Vatican.
Well, that's alright. I don't believe that streaming on Twitch is approved by the Vatican either, but sometimes we must take drastic measures. Okay. This is a bit loud. Should I be playing this game with a controller, perhaps? I suppose we should begin. Oh, I know this song. This is one of my favorite songs. Suppose we begin with Chapter 1. New game. I don't know what this is. Confirm. I can't wait. Ah, back on the road. Okay, I'm moving around. Looks like this is probably where I should go. Have you forgotten already? This forest has a mind of its own. If you get lost, you could always try remembering where you've been. Pressing the escape key or start button is a good place to start. I see what they did there. Shall we keep going? I like the music, but it sounds a bit unholy. Hello. I'm Mortis. I'm not sure what just happened. I believe the game is over now. I hope you all learned something about my faith today. Okay, another attempt, I suppose. I would like to not Mortis again. Perhaps I go this way. So far, so... No! Stop it! I will not be mortising on this day. Love the part where you said it's faith in time and faithed all over everyone. Now see, this man is a Bible enjoyer. He has clearly read the Bible. That is also my favorite part of the Bible. Is that a... okay. Chase him. Chase him instead. This seems fine, you know? This is how I, too, would walk through a forest with horrific demonic abominations in it. Because I know that God is on my side and he will protect me. This must be the aforementioned house. It's locked. Well, I guess... Unfortunate. Oh, there's another house in the woods. Perhaps I should find that. Don't do it. I don't want to do that. I would only like to worship God. The only one true almighty being. I wish I could tell where I was on the map. But I think here's a house. Perhaps something of use in here. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord in heaven. I've read the whole Bible and I don't even want to read this. The Martins' house lies about 100 yards off the Snake Meadow Hill Road. There is almost no driveway. Trees jut out in the middle of a gravel path that is mostly covered in grass. It was difficult to find the house, especially since it was already dark when we arrived. Father Allred seemed to know where he was going. He simply drove straight ahead until he arrived at the house. In the headlights, I saw an old shed off the right of the path. Father Allred explained that he would rather perform the exorcism away from the house, but the Martins had... Is the music too loud, perhaps? It's very, very loud in my ears. Kinda thought this would be an FPS. Let me tell you, Father Dump would never play such an unholy thing on this stream. Only holy games will be played by Father Dump on this stream. I'll leave the first-person shooters to my brother. Let's see, where were we? The Martins had insisted that Amy remained inside. He complained that having the family present makes it difficult to proceed with elements of the rite that may seem harsh to the layperson. I don't understand, but maybe we go inside? We found the key.
Subscribe to Dumper Man.
Balls.
Suggestive, I do not approve of your language. However, I will accept your tithe. Thank you very much for your contribution. I have once again mortised. I loved the part where they said mortis and then he mortised all over the place. Oh, this is something. Ah, yes, I do. I have the power of God on my side, of course. How could I forget? Could Doom Eternal be considered a holy game? Someone told me about this Doom Eternal game, and I heard that you play as someone who kills demons. Therefore, I would say yes, that would qualify as a holy game. I don't approve of the means, but I do approve of the end. which is defeating the spawn of hell. Where am I? Perhaps this direction. This is something else. Maybe back this way. Ah, here's our house. Okay, I don't know if I have to pick this up, but I'll agree to it like the terms of service on a website that I don't want to use. I see you. I see you. Come in. Woo! Father Dump's a bit of a gamer! Okay. What about dusk, where you bring those that covet a false god to the one true God? I'm not sure about this dusk. I will have to learn more and get back to you on that one. How much do you know of this game, brother? Can I say there's multiple endings, at least in the first chapter? I know almost nothing of this game. Other than that, it is called Faith and it sounds very holy. I will just play and see what happens. Oh, did I just go back to the same room? Nobody told me this game would test my faith in this way. Ah, but I suppose it is in the title. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Parried with the power of Christ. Indeed. Now that is approved by the Vatican. I don't remember how to get to the big house, but I believe that's where I'm going. Here we are. It looks like there's something in there. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit more. It's a bit too loud still. Fortunately, I wish I could change just the music volume, because the music is very, very loud. Oh, I did. Of course, I didn't confirm it. The menus really are what's testing my resolve here. Into the house we go. Mr. and Mrs. Martin greeted us at the front porch. Mr. Martin led us down the stairs to the basement, explaining that Amy was down there in restraints. I felt for him. There was much guilt and shame in his voice. Mortis to you as well, Aylward. Although I believe Mortis just means death, so I don't wish death on you. I wish the grace of God upon you. Amy was in the very back of the attic in a chair, perfectly calm, staring at us. It is hard to describe the look on her face. It was not the kind of look a child gives you. Amy sounds like she has been consumed by the power of Satan. Hello. Is this a mirror? Hi, that would be me. What's in here? Do I have a button with which to interact with things? I don't like really that the music stopped. Got a cool pic of the Northern Lights. Should I post it on Discord? Yes. You should definitely share God's gifts with others. What is this? A picture on the fridge? Wanted to see what this game is like. Looks very holy. Have fun of it. It's so far, I would not use that word to describe it, but it is interesting. Does seem we are playing as a priest, so perhaps the holiness will reveal itself to me. Kind of just want to see my controls. Okay, well. Oh, it said on... Hang on. perhaps I'm just confused. Okay, we're going downstairs, I think, if I remember that note correctly. This looks like stairs. What a place. I've got my finger on the trigger of my cross. Ready to... Ooh. Ah, okay. Dear Amy, thanks for writing. It really brightened my day hearing from you. In your letter, you asked what's the weirdest thing I've seen as a missionary. This area we are working in has a lot of folks who practice Quimbamba. Quimbamba. They don't teach about that in the Bible. It's what you might call a pagan religion. Well, they certainly don't teach that in the Bible. It's kind of a mix of Catholic and African religions. I do like the first part of that, of course. Catholicism. One of the saints they worship is San la Muerte, or Saint Death. Yesterday we talked to a boy, about 15. When we asked him if he had ever prayed, he said no, but I have prayed to San la Muerte. He told us about a time when he stayed over at his cousin's house, and according to him, they prayed to some figures of San la Muerte, and the figures made things in the house move around. He got real quiet and scared looking after that. We told him he could pray to God and that God wouldn't make him feel scared like that. I fully agree with that. We invited him to church, but he hasn't come yet. Shame. I need to wrap this letter up and get back to work. See you in 4 months. Leighton. What about this doll? You seem like you might... Is that a doll? It seems like a doll. Perhaps does the washing machine need to be exercised? Nice room. Lovely room. One of you is going to come to life. Perhaps. Would not shock me in the slightest. So, not so lovely of a room. If I'm being honest. Amy's parents could not endure witnessing the proceedings of the rite for long. Mrs. Martin was hysterical, and the thing that was inside Amy was feeding off of the fear. Father Allred asked me to take the Martins upstairs. I was physically worn out, but managed to get them back up the stairs into the kitchen. Amy was screaming, "Mother, Mother," the whole time. Finally, I got them to sit down with me at the kitchen table. After a few minutes, we couldn't hear much of anything down in the basement. So I went down to check on things. I found Father Allred lying on his back, unconscious, with his arms spread out wide. Amy was not in the chair. Well, now, are these broken crosses on the ground? Doesn't... Oh! Should I have done this? Nice. The power of Christ compels you. She is here. Okay. Whoa, here she comes. Is this Amy, perhaps? Amy got hands. The devil has got hands, but I intend to throw hands myself. A hand with a cross clutched in it. You know, I just work here. I'm not that good at this streaming thing. That's more of my brother's thing. I guess I was the only one who thought to check in the attic. When I got up there, it was freezing cold. I found Amy standing in the back, looking straight at me like when I first met her downstairs. We spoke briefly, although it was frustrating to talk to her, or it. I experienced a bit of deception from the demon. During our conversation, she uttered my mother's first name, and in other instances spoke perfect Latin. I called for help from the others, but nobody came, so I raised my crucifix and began the rite again. Well, it was worth a try. Aha, I see you. Exorcised! Father Dump, what do you think of the Angel Gabriel? I think the Angel Gabriel is a very holy being indeed. And I can't imagine him doing anything unholy. That's what I say about the Angel Gabriel. Bob must be stationed somewhere in the Middle East because he sent over this weird-looking doll for Amy's birthday. I'll ask Anish about it next time we have book club. She looks like she could be from over there. Amy didn't seem excited to see the doll. I think she would rather have a phone instead, or maybe seeing a baby doll makes her feel self-conscious about her working at the clinic. Anything exercisable in here? Perhaps. That doesn't look good. Gotcha! Oh, well. Are you... Mortis. Yes, okay, I'm beginning to understand. I'm beginning to understand, alright. Oh, are we going to see Amy again, perhaps? Worry not, Amy. You will find the power of Christ before long. Amy can indeed duplicate. So I have found. I don't actually know if I need to do all of this if I've already done it, but... Okay. Amy. Got her! Father, what is your exercise routine? I like to, I pray in 5-minute sets with 2-minute rests in between. That is how I exercise my faith. And my relationship with the Lord. I'm getting good at this game. Amy, you should fear the power of the Lord. Yes, I see you. I see you. The Lord has provided me with sick parries. Okay, I believe I need to go downstairs now. Makiri counter. I'm not aware of this. Goodbye, Amy. You don't follow me down the stairs, do you? I see her in the painting. Oh, she's... Hello? Which one? It's literally just the only one that I did... Mortis this, Mortis that. I would like to live this. Okay, Amy. I know she's here. I've seen her a few times. I believe Mortis means death. I don't believe. I know Mortis means death. I am fluent in Latin, of course. There we go. Did I believe I didn't get the item in here. I don't know if I need this. I'm somewhat confused still about how important these items are. But I suppose they don't take too much to pick up. Amy! I apologize. I let my emotions overcome me there. That was not a very godly thing to do. Yes, they do seem to be lore dumps, but are they important, is the question. Is the game keeping track of them? Do I need to pick them up to unlock certain endings, or are they unimportant? It doesn't take too long to get them anyways. Okay, Amy. Let's do this again. Okay. Okay, Amy. Got her. What about here? I knew it. Ah, what a lovely family. Surely nothing bad will happen to them. Where should I go now? Am I leaving the house? Or am I perhaps searching more for Amy? Amy sure is having no trouble finding me. Look in the mirror. Where was the mirror? There's the back door as well. Amy. Amy's in every room. How are you doing this, Amy?
The door open upstairs.
Okay. That's also a thing. Where's the mirror? Where was the mirror? Was it in here? Oh, yes, I believe it was. There is nothing in the mirror. At least not as far as I could see. But a handsome man brandishing a cross. That's about all. I can't hear this voice with a straight face anymore. Microsoft Sam is the work of the devil. Clearly. Now, where did this door... Oh, was it the toilet room? Was this closed previously? Am I exercising the toilet? No. Seems not. I don't see where a door would have opened. It could be this, perhaps. Seems something is leading me here. Oh, I see. It's stairs. Molly, the church might contact you in a few days to tell you that their version of what happened to me. I want you to hear it from me first. A year ago, I was involved in the exorcism of Amy Martin. What they said in the papers about what happened isn't true. She, my superior father, when I... Okay, this has been clearly doctored or erased or something. Managed to cut the power to the house and blank her own parents blank with their own blank. Okay, I could fill in the blanks there, I suppose. Horrible, horrible sins committed here. I have to go back to that house. The nightmares I'm having are real. She's still there waiting for me. I can still help her. If I don't come back, know that I love you and I'm sorry, John. John. Any particular reason that's happening? Mine is facing the right direction. They don't seem to care.
My God, what happened to you? Do you think my face is pretty? I have to finish what I started.
Boss fight?
She's my priest.
The power of Christ compels you, Amy. The power of Christ compels you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. Perhaps stay away. Something wicked this way comes. Perhaps multiple something wickeds. Am I winning, Father? Send me a sign. Aha! Unless... Yes, you are very pretty, Amy. Is that what you want to hear? Which one? Which one? Which one? Oh, Amy. Back to your old tricks. Back to those old tricks. I'll get her next time. I think I understand how this unorthodox, non-Vatican sanctioned exorcism is supposed to work. More teas. Sure. Oh, we're going right back here. Okay. Which one? I'm putting the moves on the devil. Nice try, Amy. Where are you? Where are you? A little too close for comfort there. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Mistakes were made. Trust that I would never make silly, simple mistakes such as this in real life. I'm very well trained. This is a bit of a boss fight situation. Very, very interesting. I am bad. I lack skill at the video game. But what I do have in copious amounts is the grace of God, which I will use to best this Amy. Where are you? Which one? Which one? This one. Easy. Easy. Come on, Amy. How much HP does Amy have? I know not. But God has infinite HP, and he is on my side. Which one? That one. We've done it! We've done it! Wow. Okay, we have not done it. We have not done anything, in fact. It seems just to be getting worse. Another attempt. How do I... Amy? Amy does really got hands now. The hands of the devil. And I will strike the devil down. Skill issue, as the kids say. I don't think I understand. Holiness issue. Faith issue. Excuse me. I am a bit confused. Oh, the good Lord sure does love to test me in strange ways. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. Okay, Amy. I don't know why I just stand there and die. I don't know why I'm doing that. Come on, Amy. I will strike the devil out of you. Harder than any Dark Souls boss. Satan is the hardest boss. She moves in a pentagram pattern. I can see that. I'm just not sure what I'm... That was not what I thought was going to happen. That was simply not a pentagram pattern. Do I just stand in the middle? Hope for the best? No. No, it seems not. Literally me when summoning say, I hope you're not summoning Satan, Chad the Mad Lad, or we're going to have a problem here. I just can't get in her circle. Basically. I think that might be the other aspect of this. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, yes, okay. Yes, I see. Yes, I see. I get it. I have mortised again. She waits there a little longer than I thought. Then you pause there. Very good, very good. What is happening? Father, send me a sign. What am I supposed to do? What on earth is going on? Should be here? No. No? What on earth? Amy? Uh-oh. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. Have we done it? Have we done it? Yes, that's a fine place for you, Amy. Okay, goodbye. Easy. It was easy. And through the power of God, anything can be easy. GG easy, in fact. Do I go out the window? Perhaps. And stay down. Okay, I believe we will go outside now. Perhaps. Because it seems like that is where our friend Amy has gone. Kill her. I don't believe this will be necessary. Okay. Can I... Hello? Amy? Are you back here behind this strange house? Or did you go out the window forward? I'm a bit confused. I won't lie. Where have you gone, Amy? Are you out here somewhere? That was my one bullet. Great. Great, yeah, okay. That was... Mistakes were made. I thought maybe, perhaps, my cross would still work. I don't... This is why they don't typically arm priests. Are we getting all the endings? I don't I don't know what that means. I'm playing the game. Well, I believe we have located her. Okay. If you want to shoot her, go back to the house. Am I supposed to want to shoot her? That sounds like a horrible thing. Sounds like something I would rather not do, but if it is the only way to defeat the power of Satan that seems to be very alive within this game, then yes, I will shoot her. It is an option. What would the other option be? I'd love to know. Your interactions so far have been pretty confrontational. That is true. Other option, close the game. Wow, there just so happened to be another single gun with one bullet. What a gift from God. Let's look around in the forest. See what else we have out here. God left you a message? The one that said kill her? I just, my God would never. Not the God that I know, and I know him well. I could perhaps shoot the, well, maybe not. I do like venison, and I dislike murder. Wonderful. Now I have done that. Did I win? Have I beaten the game? Is it over? No backseating, please. The only one allowed to backseat me is the good Lord. Return to the car, I guess. And how do I... Okay. Okay. Hydrate. I will get some of my holy water. I like this one. I like this cutscene. I thought that deer was dead, to be honest. Are the deer hunting me now? This seems bad. The good Lord is in the front seat. True that. Okay. So. That was interesting. Unidentified body dies covered near wrecked car. The site of a deadly car accident was discovered along the road near Sterling this morning, along with the body of a person who has not yet been identified. At 6:00 a.m. this morning, a resident called to report an accident along Snake Meadow Hill Road. The driver of a silver sedan has swerved off the road and struck a tree. The spokesman for the police commented that the body appeared to have been dragged several yards away from the car, deeper into the woods after having been ejected from the front windshield. It was noted that the body had been mangled beyond recognition. Investigators suspect this was probably the work of coyotes. I, however, suspect that it was the work of Satan. I did not know that deer were working for the Dark Lord Satan. Interesting. This game has taught me something new. Police also noted that parts of a cleaned white-tailed deer were found in the trunk of the car. From a white-tailed deer, a hunter typically gets 75 pounds of meat. However, it appears the victim of the accident was only able to carry 25 pounds back to the car. New chapter mode unlocked. Okay. So that was the end. Very, very interesting. I don't quite understand. But I think maybe somewhere along the way I made an unorthodox decision. So I kind of understand in that regard. Let's see. What happens if I continue? Okay, here we go. Let's try. As much as I do not want to, let's try and shoot the girl and see what happens. And then perhaps we'll move on to the next chapter. Because I don't want to spend all day on this game. How holy is this ending from 1 to 10? I mean, that last ending, I think, was bad. I don't see how I could spin that in a holy way. I murdered an innocent animal and then it murdered me. I don't really like that. However, I can't say that I'm all too thrilled about shooting the girl either. But I will do what must be done. Game over. Perhaps now I just return to the car. As it seems I am wont to do. Now, where is my vehicle? Somewhere down here. Yes, just a little farther. She was really resistant to a cross, but not to a gun. Perhaps there is a lesson to be learned there. God works in mysterious ways, after all. The Doomslayer already taught us this lesson. I don't know if the Doomslayer ever tried a cross. It seems like it was not his favored weapon. 5 endings. I will not be doing all 5 endings, I don't think. Well, perhaps there's a lesson to be learned here as well. Murder is not good. Don't do it. Maybe, perhaps, somewhere along the way, I missed a sign from God that could have helped me. New York man is in custody after he confessed to the murder of a Sterling girl who had been missing. John Ward of Palmyra was pulled over on Snake Meadow Hill Road last night after a state trooper reported hearing a gunshot. The officer thought it might be poachers. The officer said Ward was acting nervous and suspicious after being pulled over. When questioned, Ward reportedly said, "I've killed her," according to the police report. The officer called for backup after Ward became increasingly upset, saying repeatedly that there was a demon inside her. Ward was taken to Sterling Police Headquarters for further questioning. He then confessed to authorities that he shot and killed Amy Martin, a 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 9 days after escaping from a mental institution. After a brief search, police located Amy's body in the woods now near the now-abandoned Martin home. In addition to receiving a gunshot wound to the stomach, Amy showed injuries suggesting she had been thrown out of the second-story window of the house. An officer who helped recover the body told reporters that Amy's face had been mutilated in very brutal manner. Ward was found dressed as a priest when he was pulled over. I am a priest. I am a priest. What do you mean? I'm just doing the work of God. It is suspected that he impersonated a priest to gain his victim's trust after Catholic authorities in Rome confirmed that a man of God would never do such a thing. This is a silly, falsified ending. I refuse to accept it. But perhaps we will try and see if we can find a better ending here. This will probably be my last attempt here. Maybe I will search the house and see if there is anything else that I could perhaps use. I could go back to the basement. Does this door lead to anything? I haven't tried it. No. The mirror. It just seems odd that the mirror wouldn't do anything. Before I saw a shadow, and now I do not. It does. It doesn't seem like it does. Let me look in the basement, and then perhaps I'll return to the mirror. Have I exercised the doll? The doll doesn't need it. And you? Any of you? Perhaps? Nothing. None of you? We don't have any devils hiding in here? The mirror reflects light. Well, yeah, okay, that seems plausible. Do I return to the... Does not seem like there's anything I can do here either. Okay. I guess back up we go. Perhaps. It does seem like I could go over there, past the boxes. The doll has disappeared. Okay, so... Okay. That's interesting. There is blood stains that go over onto this side over here, but I just can't seem to go past anywhere. Great. Wonderful. I am not sure. Like that way? No. Nor that way. Oh. Somewhere found a little space next to the file cabinets. Does not... Could I make myself flat? I am a 2D object. Through God, all things are possible, of course. Have you ever read the true story, Flat Stanley? How about I just stand in front of the mirror and see what happens? What about this? I haven't tried anything with this yet. All I can really do is hold up my cross, which I do approve of very much, but... Alright, I will just stand here. And drink my holy water. What about shooting it? Now there's an idea. There's an idea. John Ward cannot get past the chair. I think his faith is starting to falter. Got him. In the words of the good Lord, got him. Now what? Could I perhaps shoot something in the basement to get past it? It is nice how the good Lord keeps providing me multiple guns with one bullet. Strange, but nice. Let's take a shot down here. Why not? The bullet just travels right through. Okay, well. I'm not so certain there is anything over there. Perhaps it's just to indicate that I should go over there in the first place. Okay, well. We won't do that. Is there anything upstairs, perhaps, that I could shoot?
A gun with 1 bullet.
Yes, another gun with 1 bullet. Thank you, John Faith, for the... I beg thee, Lord, let me tell him hints. Please, no. Please do not. This game, I do believe, is available on Steam for anyone to purchase and play. If you would like to play the game yourself, feel free to go ahead, but you will not be playing it secondhand through my Twitch chat. I don't know what else to do here, so I think... well, I did shoot the mirror, which did something. What if I shoot the painting? Does not seem like that had any effect either. Back into the house.
A gun with 1 bullet.
I would like to find at least one more ending because the previous 2 have been not great. Is the mirror shattered when shotgun reloads? I suppose I could go look. It is still shattered. First timer here. What did you Second Amendment so far? I've done the deer and I shot the girl. Much to my lord's dismay. Oh, you can keep shooting it. Okay. And now we're working on the mirror, which is very interesting. Can it be broken? Okay. Well, the power of Christ compels you, sir. Yes, lovely place. This is certainly the work of Satan. Strongest mirror in existence. A mirror sent by God himself. I didn't like that very much. Come on. Yes. Get back, Satan. This priest has the jukes. Dear Dr. McGlashan, it has been 30 days since the beginning of my treatment here at Yale Psychiatric Institute. Dr. Spinal, who has been patient with me, has helped me understand my afflictions and has helped me find a way to move forward and accept the truth. With Dr. Spinal's help, Spinal, I have come to accept what really happened in September at the Martin family residence. I accept that what happened was not the result of any supernatural phenomenon, but rather the desperate actions of a young girl driven to violence by her dogmatic parents and old church rituals that are thought to drive out evil. I am happy to report that since accepting the truth, my nightmares have ceased and I now enjoy peace of mind that I have not felt since the incident. Given my progress since first coming here, I respectfully request my release from Yale Psychiatric Institute, contingent upon follow-up appointments with Dr. Spinal in the future. Sincerely, John Faith. Can I perhaps leave now? I have been dropped here with another gun. But I think what I will do is just simply walk away. Now that I am goaded with the Lord, I'm goaded with the knowledge that will free me from this hell. Yes, it is me, John. I will take the gun, because why not? Who am I to not accept a gift from the good Lord? But I will be returning to my silver Honda Civic. The one bullet reminds me about the worst sin, suicide, but this doesn't look like an option here. Good. What an unholy thing to include in this. Problem solved. Have we finally reached a good ending? Spoken like a true man of faith, John. No. No, sir. This man's faith will not be shaken. You could take a message or two from him, chat. I shall call upon him and he will answer me. He will be with me in trouble. He will deliver me and honor me. I can't explain what happened at that house. I can only have faith that I did the right thing. Amen. Amen, John. That was a good ending, I think. Police animal experts investigate chupacabra remains found near Sterling. Sterling Police Department is enlisting the help of local animal experts from the University of Connecticut after the remains of an unidentified animal were found near Sterling. The remains of an animal which some residents are calling a chupacabra were discovered on Snake Meadow Hill Road by a motorist yesterday. The animal had apparently been struck by a vehicle and parts of its carcass were scattered around the road. Police say the gruesome scene... Police say they initially investigated the gruesome scene because the motorist who discovered the remains had told them they appeared to be of a person. After arriving at the scene, police concluded that the remains were of some kind of animal. As a matter of public safety, we want to be sure about what exactly we are dealing with here, said a Sterling police spokesman. This is clearly not a deer or a coyote. If it's a mountain lion or exotic pet that escaped from its owners or an animal with rabies, we need to know about it. Animal experts attached to the investigation would not speculate about what kind of animal had been found, although they commented that the animal was hairless, anemic, and apparently suffered from the rickets, a vitamin D deficiency that appears in animals and children who have not received enough sunlight. I believe my Twitch chat might know a thing or two about that disease. Love how the truck driver ran over a demon but wasn't bothered to stop. Thus is the way in Connecticut. Okay, I liked that. A bit odd yet again, but an interesting game. It tests my faith a bit, but it also fills me with the Holy Spirit. I like it. Chapter 2 we go. Let's see. Confirmo. Which, if you didn't know, chat, is Latin for confirm. John appears to be in a bit of a pickle again. This isn't too nice looking of a place. Although there is a Bible here, which I know a thing or two about, chat. Father Garcia. Oh, this is not Father John. You are hereby instructed to release Michael Davies from your custody and return him to his home immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Davies have already been contacted by our office. A representative of the church is currently en route to their home to discuss compensation in return for their discretion. You will meet our representative there and accompany him back to Rome. Cardinal Gifford. What sin sends you to Ohio? The worst imaginable sin. Can I... Oh, I have a different cross. Could I perhaps grab my Bible before I go? It's very important. The other chapters also have multiple endings. I don't know how to get them, but would you revisit this later to see the other endings or look them up yourself? I will leave that to Dumpster Man, but I would say he might be interested perhaps in returning. If there was enough else to see. I'd like to at least get one ending per chapter today. But I only intend to play this for maybe about 2 or 3 more hours. One day. One day. One day. One day. Oh, 2 weeks. 3 months. Bit of an interesting development there. Why is the priest's house so red? That's not a holy color. I believe it is the color of wood, which is a holy material as it's what crosses are made out of. No, I'll be up for getting over it, but I'll be absent from the 3rd chapter. Sounds good. Demon. Michael seems a bit unwell. Uh-oh. Ah, it's one of these. Well, we are now in an empty room, but I imagine that something will soon happen. Or can I perhaps get out? Ah, I see you, Michael. What kind of demon is named Michael? Alright, he's doing a bit of feasting. Ah, what a sweet young child. What? Yes. Father Garcia do be spittin'. He do be spittin' that holy scripture. It's 2 a.m. We are back in the woods. Have you forgotten already? The notes people leave behind seem to exist on the edges of memory. Pressing the escape key or the start button is a good way to remember. I do believe I know this already. Can I don't want to get run over. Can I explore this way, perhaps? There is no map. Am I just back here? Okay. I'm a bit confused how that worked, but... just curious what all is out here. It seems to just take me back to the path, which is a bit odd. That looks like a tree dripping with an animal carcass. The current investigation being conducted at Gallup Cemetery by the State of Connecticut Historical Society has been postponed until further notice. In the interim, we ask the public to avoid the cemetery grounds, the surrounding woods, any wildlife, and any unidentified persons roaming the area. Thank you for your patience. Why was that note in a deer carcass scattered across a tree? So I think I will probably go into the cemetery. I am now stuck in the cemetery. Wonderful. Wonderful news. I still have work to be done here, it seems. I knew that one was a bit crooked. Can't hide from me, devil. I shook hands with the devil. I looked him in the eye. He looked like a long-lost friend. Now that's simply unacceptable. What do we have here? A note from the devil himself? Verily, not everyone... Dearest disciple, verily, not everyone who says Lucifer, Lucifer shall inherit his kingdom. You must first conjure his demon. You must then serve his demon. You must then walk among the children of men as his... I apologize, chat. I did not intend for this to turn into a satanic scripture. This is purely for educational purposes, and none of you should do what the devil says, or Gary, if that is what he so pleases to go by, tells you to do. Do not listen to him. You must then walk among the children of men as his demon. Thus shall you receive the blessing of the unspeakable. Return to the Save Family tomb whenever you are in need of rest. That's a bit on the nose. Game. Enter the spirit house. Hello? 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 Hi, John. Okay. Did I save? Is that what happened? Have I saved my game? This game is not something I would have expected from New Blood, to be honest. I have no homework for tomorrow, and I cannot explain how relieved I am. Thank the Lord. This is wonderful. Is this a lizard? I can't seem to... Hello? Come on, you stinky lizard. Wow! Oh, he's hiding in the fog. These clouds are giving me a headache. I can hardly look at the screen right now. Okay, okay, we have solved it. Need some holy water after that one. Losing Grandpa was the hardest thing I ever experienced. We were really close. I cried about it for weeks, then my stepmom introduced me to some of her friends. They asked me, would you like to see your grandfather again? I missed him so much, I was willing to try anything. That night, my stepmom drove me to one of her friends' houses. They took me down to the basement. I saw my grandfather in there, only it wasn't actually him. When I tried to run, they closed the basement door and locked me in. I can't remember much else from that night. My stepmom's friends are always coming by the house now. They tell me I have a debt to pay. They say they have work for me to do. Okay. I'm a bit lost as to what's going on still, but that is honestly just the normal experience of this. Turbo Overkill Episode 2 is coming out in a couple of days. Will you check it out? I, Father Dump, would never play such a thing, but I would imagine that something with such an unholy name probably would be of interest to my brother Dumpster Man. Okay, well, we just did a full loop of this area. What do you know? Perhaps this needs to be... No? How about you? Or is there a right way to go? Ah, we can leave at least. Interesting place. Should I save now that I have expelled one demon? Okay, interesting. One of the men has disappeared from here. I suppose that might be important. What do I do again? Or can I not save? The temple is called save. I would think that that would be important. But now I am a bit confused. There's another gate. Will this open? Could this be the Unholy Trinity? Oh, I see that. It is with great sadness that the Sterling community announces the passing of Cindy Marie Martin, 38, and Robert Kimball Martin, 40. Devoted husband and wife and beloved parents, their lives tragically came to an end on September 21st due to an accident in their home. Bob was a training advisor for the United States Navy and Cindy was a CPA, and more recently, a stay-at-home mother. They were married in March 12, 1969. Nice. In Voluntown. Though not particularly religious, they taught their children to be kind, generous, and involved in the community. They should have been religious, obviously. I mean, I think that goes without saying. A public closed casket memorial will be held at Tillingast Funeral Home at 10 a.m. Thursday. Burial services will proceed shortly after. Bob and Cindy are survived by their daughter Amy and twin boys Nate and Jason. What was that? What are you? Nothing, it seems. Did you just say nice to that unholy number? I don't know what you're talking about. There is something going on here, though, clearly. Exercised. If I said nice to an unholy number, that must have been the devil possessing me. Hello? It follows. Isn't Bob part of Amy's family? I remember a note saying something like that. Yes, I believe that was the whole family that was listed there. Great. Another one of these. Okay. Could it be that simple? No, of course not. He will move in a sine wave. Well. Yes, I'm aware. Okay, we saved here, so I did not have to return to the Temple of Save. Not quite sure how to interpret that. I keep thinking perhaps there's a demon behind me, but it seems just like the blood is cosmetic. Interesting choice. Yes. I've heard. So I've heard. He moves in a sine wave. Sine waves are clearly unholy. Did he touch me? Clearly I have mortised. Interesting. Going to have to be extra careful with this one. Math is unholy. I wholeheartedly concur. It is the work of Satan. Okay. Sine wave time. We are trying our best here. Okay, he did not have that much health. That is good. Is there anything in here that can have me point my cross at it and then spit out lore? Which is kind of how real life works as well, as long as you have faith in God. What do we have here? Nobody was thrilled when I got pregnant, not even a little happy. Even my doctor seemed to be judging me. Each time I'd leave the doctor's office, I'd see this strange woman across the street. All she'd do is stare at me and smile. No words, just a big warm smile. Somehow, it made those visits a little more bearable. After I lost the baby, I saw her again across the street from the doctor's. Her smile was as big as ever, but somehow not as warm and friendly as I remember. Yesterday I was walking, and shocked to see the woman standing in the middle of the path. Now she was pregnant. She beckoned towards me. I followed her, off the path into the woods. That's when I met Gary. Gary. I sure have heard a lot about Gary. This is different now. It looked like a dead baby. Makes sense its HP was low. Yes, however, Amy had quite a lot of HP, so am I to interpret that between the age of 0 and 17, you gain quite a lot of HP? You become very powerful. Or perhaps your power peaks at age 17.
It's locked.
That's cool and all, but I believe I will just go around. Can I look at a map? There is no map. It told me to look at a map. There is no map. Not in my notes. Resumo. It's only a map for the first chapter. Okay, I am doing loops now, it seems. Which way is the correct way? Well, we've gone back. Is this some sort of trick from the devil, perhaps? It does seem so. Perhaps up we go. This does not seem to be accomplishing what I want it to. Perhaps we should go look for a key. Maybe there is some trick to this door after all. Only one remains. Or perhaps two, as there are two eyes still lit. Okay. This is the room that I still do not understand. I just go in endless circles. I believe I've tried just about everything. How realistic is this game? Is that your typical routine? I would say Priest Simulator was a bit more realistic. If you want to get technical about my day-to-day as a priest. I think there are directions to take. I don't know what that means. In the foggy area. Like there's a proper way to go. I feel like I've tried to go every way. Specific directions I need, as in need to find? Where would I find such a thing? Can I go back? I do recall this. Oh, we already got the note from that. Hello, Dave. Welcome to church. Look at the statues. I do not know. Wait. These statues? So, right, up, left, down? Let's try it. I'm not sure I would have solved this myself. I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused as to how one is supposed to decipher that, but we will see if this works. It does not seem like it worked. What could have changed? Father Dump, can you make a Walter White impression? No. No, I will not do that. There's numbers on the How? Okay, one more try. You think the last one may be pointing up? I will give it a try. I must have done something wrong. Right, up, left, up. I feel like it looks like the man in the statue is doing a handstand and pointing down. Which is where my confusion comes from. I don't think this is right. Oh, something did happen. Hello. Another demon, of course. Do you move in a sine wave as well? You just teleport around a lot. No sine waves for you. Wow, he got closer. Okay. Okay. Got him. As the good Lord said when he struck Satan down to hell. Got him. Use the roll button. I wish the good Lord had granted me a roll button. I've been freed. No more overbearing father-turned-violent alcoholic. No more hiding my bruises and cuts. No more pills and needles. No more getting laughed at and kicked around. They'll never laugh at me again. By day, my body withers away, but by night, my mind explores forbidden worlds of power and knowledge, guided by beings of pure darkness. I have been trusted with secret knowledge of the demon's seal. I have learned the secret conjuring sign, drawing the inverted stay along the rocks. Inverted star along the rocks. Do not draw the inverted star, my children. Along the rocks arranged in 5. First at the top left, point and then down. I will lure them into the woods, then I will show them my power. Perhaps the game will force me to draw the cursed symbol. But do as I say, not as I do. This is purely for educational purposes, my children. I am already in the mirror, interestingly enough. Hello, John. Why would you do such a thing, John? Well, now I have the key. Do I take this down here? Where was the rocks? Do I use my blood to draw? Oh, I can't get out. Oh, I can get out. Okay, okay. Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes, good people of Twitch. As I draw this awful symbol. Is this going to do anything? Perhaps I did it incorrectly? Then do I stand in the... Does not seem like that did anything. What was the note again? I have to go forward through them. Where did it tell me? There we go. By night, my mind explores forbidden worlds, blah, blah, blah. I have been trusted with secret knowledge. I've learned the correct conjuring sign, drawing the inverted star along the rocks arranged in 5, first at the top left point and then down. I believe that's what I did. Is it not? Presumo. Let's get out of here. Top left and then down. Perhaps we need to actually touch the rocks. Is this going to do anything? I feel like it would be good if it didn't. Does not seem like this has accomplished anything. The screen does in fact shake. Then do I draw... Oh, I have to draw the circle. That's part of it? I don't know. It shakes when I'm here, but not elsewhere. Beautiful pentagram. I mean, a horrible thing, but God has given me the power of free will, and I chose to draw the best pentagram ever drawn, only to demonstrate the evil that is Satan. Okay, now it's vibrating a little more. There it is. I didn't think that that would... It's not very Christian of you. Please, please. I am only trying to demonstrate the evils of Satan, and I'm using them to cast out his evil powers. Particularly this guy. Successful once again. Now that was very Christian of me. Notes. New patient initial consultation. Subject John Thomas Ward. Present Dr. James Spinal, PhD, and 2 orderlies. Subject non-responsive for first half hour, followed by fragmented exorcism narrative. Subject unable to maintain consistency in his story, for example, stating that Amy was in the basement and then saying she was in the attic. I believe that to be true. I experienced it with my own 2 eyes, but I don't believe that God would mislead me. Subject insists incident was the result of demonic possession. Cannot declare subject of sound mind. Will require several more sessions to fully understand subject's mental state. Will advise Martin family attorneys. Imagine if John is just going crazy, killing people who are just trying to help him. Imagine. Surely that's not what's happening. Right? That would be very unholy for a game named Faith. Unacceptable, even. Imagine. Imagine. Dragons. Imagine dragon, the sign of the cross. across your face. Haha, got him. Okay, I believe the key will work here now. Interesting. We have more statues. Perhaps they are trying to tell us something. That was very interesting. Is this a church? What have we here? She guards the door to underground purgatory. Eye hath not seen her. Children fear her. What's in here? Confess thy sins. I have none. No, sir, not me. What do we have here? A purple skull. Interesting. Hello?
Pray for me, Father, for I have sinned. What sins have you done to confess? I tried to save a girl from evil, but my fears overcame me. I turned my back on the ministry and broke my vows to God. A year later, the girl reached out to me again, but in the end, I couldn't save her.
What's
I left
happened?
her to die. I am sorry for me and my past sins. Thou hast said will. Here is my penance. Bring the child to me. Perform this act of
Okay.
salvation, and thou shalt have the peace thou seekest. Give thanks to the Lord for his good.
That I can do.
For his mercy endures forever.
That I can do, Father. The rest, not so sure. Okay. Something has changed here. What a lovely picture. What about the candles? Does not seem like I can do anything with them. Hello. Hello, candles. Hello. I'm sorry, the light of the Lord isn't enough to light these candles? Now we are out. Okay. Seems like there might be something important with these candles. It's always the same two that are lit. What, is this something I've read before? Day 1 of our paranormal investigation into the old Snake Meadow Hill Church. We've got 3 cameras, a box of tapes, and enough beer and beef jerky to last us a week. On our way in, we asked some of the locals about the church. It was mostly the stories we had heard before. Evil spirits dragging children into the cornfield and secret tunnels under the chapel. But there was this spindly lady game that we hadn't heard yet. Apparently, it has to do with summoning the spirit of a woman who used to take care of the orphans back in the 50s. There was even an old rhyme, they told us. Walk the church from room to room, and maybe you will see her. She will move when you do, but never try to trick her. Awesome. We're going to try this game tonight, as soon as we get settled in. Let me read this again, because I think this will be important. Our way in, we asked some of the locals about the church. It was mostly yes. Spindly lady game that we hadn't heard yet. Apparently, it has to do with summoning the spirit of a woman who used to take care of the orphans back in the 50s. Walk the church from room to room, and maybe you will see her. She will move when you do, but never try to trick her. Okay, that does seem important. There should be a note back in the secret room. Goodbye, Mektorn. Have a blessed day. Back in we go. I don't see a note. Did I pick one up, perhaps? I do not recall. There's nothing here. Unless... Ah, there we go. Problem solved. Night 1. We still haven't found a way into the basement, but as we found something just as cool. A secret passage in the old confession booth leading to this hallway. Henry's going into town to buy a crowbar. We'll see if we can get these boards off some of these doors, but that's not even the best part. We caught an EVP. You can't hear it on the tape very well, but to us it kind of sounded like laughing. Thank God we brought the nice mic. We'll review it on the sound gear once we get back into town. I don't know why I had so much trouble reading that. Yeah, I did not realize you could interact with the things on the wall like that. I thought maybe you were just kind of frozen there until you walk away, so that was good to know, actually. What's going on up here? The spindly lady, perhaps. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. The rug did indeed move. Night 2. We're gonna be rich. We've caught supernatural stuff on camera before, sure. Doors opening on their own, things falling off of shelves, but nothing like this. Tonight, while we were trying the spindly lady game again, one of the candles on the floor lit up by itself as soon as Lars walked into the room. It was nuts, and we got it all on film. We're gonna make a fortune selling this to the TV stations. Something tells me they didn't make a fortune. Yeah, something is happening here. Do I stand on it? The rug does indeed move. That much I am certain about. However, what to do with it? Watch the candles. Wow, okay. I see now. You want me to watch the candles. 2. It's always 2. It's always 2. But which 2? Not sure I follow. Is this like a map? Is it guiding me around the church? It does kind of seem like it moves from room to room as I do. How do I go back? I believe I'm in the same room now. But where to find the... Aha! Something is happening. The spindly lady, perhaps? Come out, devil. Where are you? I'm not supposed to try and trick her. And now it has stopped. I feel as though I'm getting closer. When I stand about here, maybe it's just the candle. Aha! I'm dead. Mortis. I am all the way back here? Okay. Okay, at least I understand this game now. I do be Morton. I don't know if all the notes are important, but... Was this one... Did this one have something? Yes, it did. I don't think I read this one, actually. Night 3. Shouldn't have come here. Tape's missing. Lars stuck behind basement door. Henry hasn't come back yet. Can't leave anyway. Mort from the hit game Beyond Sunset. Yes, I do believe so. Same thing, right? Not that I would know anything about such an unholy game, but my brother has told me a thing or two. The rug keep moving. It do be moving, as the kids say. I don't know if I need to go collecting these notes, to be honest. But I'll do it anyway, so I at least have them in my possession. case I need them. Okay. The candles, I believe I understand. Watch the candles. Is this like a Gabriel and Gianni relationship? Father Dump and Dumpster Man? I don't know. I don't know what you refer to. Dumpster Man is my brother. My twin brother. Okay. Now if I go back, will I be able to find it? We are in the same room again. Close? I just... Lord, give me strength. How do I overcome this challenge? I understand the puzzle. However, I don't understand how to best this demon. Let's collect all of our notes in case we need the information. I won't read them all. And then we will cast this demon out. Check your menu. See if they saved. Oh, they may save. Day 1, night 3, night 1. No, they did not save. They've not saved. This is the last one anyways, so now we're back to where we started. All good, as the kids say. All good with the Lord. We look at that. I don't know if we need to look at that. But then the crosses fall off the wall. It says, watch the candles. All right. Let's see. Would doing this in a room with more space make more sense? We are here together. I'm aware. I'm aware. Clearly that doesn't work. I guess I have to move out of the way, which I realize I probably should have considered after dying to her twice. However, I don't know that I understand then what I do. The spindly woman is quite fast. My greatest adversary yet. But the Lord will grant me strength to overcome this challenge. I should probably get this note as well. As much as I don't want to waste all this time, we'll grab it. Use the dodge. There is no dodge button. But very funny joke. Okay. Watch the candles. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, no. Do I have to go closer to them for them all to... There they go. Okay, it's in the next room, but will it move? What? I suppose that refers to the do not try to trick her part of the... It wasn't the goal. I wasn't trying to trick her. I was just trying to understand how she moves. Alright, I guess I will, as the kids say, hold the L. Is this a video game? I do believe it's a video game, yes. If you are referring to what you are seeing on your screen. It's a video game, a gift from God, a lesson, perhaps. But yeah, it's a video game. I am wondering if there is really any purpose to me getting all of the notes. But I will oh, she's in here. Then she moves. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. The Lord has given me the strength to do this. Uh-oh. Yes! There we go. All right. Thank you, Lord. Ooh. This high-octane gaming really has my heart racing. Watch the candles. I suppose I don't really need to do that anymore, do I? Now what? Spindly woman has been expelled. Aha! And the way forward is clear. Darkness surrounds thee. Uh-oh. This is my final memoir, hastily scribbled on a page of the good book. I now descend the staircase knowing full well that she waits for me ahead. Checking my old watch has revealed something quite astonishing. Time doesn't change down here, as we know it on the surface. Even now the hands don't move past 2 o'clock. God's work be done. I have been to where only the faintest lights shine and protect from things unspeakable. God help me, Father Clark, a foolish old man, going mad in this dark prison, ears bleeding from the screams of the demon. Well, it sure is dark. What have we here? Nothing a good old cross can't cure. Mortis. Okay, let's give that another try. I don't know if that note contains any clues that are useful to us. This is quite a predicament, though. I saw that shadowy figure up ahead. Let's follow it. Avoid the symbols on the ground, perhaps. Although I don't quite understand. I still don't understand. I still do not understand. See, my children, the lesson here is that God's teachings are simple, whereas the work of the devil is confusing and... Oh, perhaps this leaves some clue. How? How to understand? Seems like a puzzle. Indeed, it does seem like a puzzle. But how do I... How to make sense of this? We are gaming. Perhaps we are gaming. What does this say? Mother of Demons. I don't like that combination of words. We are back in the woods. We exited through an outhouse. How lovely. I did not think that deer would be the biggest threat to me in that room. This is interesting. 3 murdered in latest wave of ritualistic killings, Sterling, Connecticut. The bodies of 3 young people were discovered in the woods outside of Sterling last night, in what authorities are calling a ritualistic murder. Sandra Atwood, Angel Nogales, and Troy Ingles are the names of the unfortunate victims who were apparently stabbed multiple times and beheaded before being killed in a paganistic ritual. Pandemonium Regnat. 2 of the victims' bodies were also partially burned, although authorities would not specify who. The bodies were found several miles from Gallup Cemetery, where residents reported a tomb had been desecrated. They also found the trails of blood leading off into the woods. Investigators would not comment on whether or not these 2 incidents could be related. The arrangement of the bodies in a ritualistic pattern, as well as the writing of certain symbols in blood, matches the style of several murders that have occurred in the Sterling area since 1986. The killings may be connected to the last week's brutal slaying of Amy Martin, a 17-year-old girl, by John Ward. Wait, I did not kill her. You get it? Ward had impersonated a priest to gain Amy's trust before luring her into the woods and killing her. Investigators are asking residents to report any suspicious activity to the police. Authorities are urging the people of Sterling... What happened to the music? To not mourn the loss of Atwood, Nogales, and Ingles, because, after all, they were degenerate, devil-worshipping thugs, agreed, who were hooked on crack cocaine and hated their parents. Why even conduct an investigation at all? That's what you would like them to think, wouldn't you, John? Okay. This has gotten interesting. They were just 3 pathetic outcasts who got what they deserved. You actually did the community a favor when you found them getting high in that tomb. Is that who they were? You stalked them through the grave and killed them one by one. I didn't do that. You ignored their cries for help, their pleas for mercy. You put holes in their ruined drug addict bodies. And then you chopped off their heads because everybody knows that removing the head is the only way to kill a snake. Well, guess what? You didn't kill the snake, John. You cannot kill what cannot be killed. Thou shalt not raise up what thou canst not put down again. Thou couldst not kill Amy. Thou shalt not destroy my works, for they are the works of the eternal dragon. Even now she is at my door. Her hand is at thy throat, yet you see her not. I will have thy soul, for I am the God of this world. Yes, yeah, okay. Okay, buddy. This is what I say to Satan. Okay, buddy. 666, yeah, very, very cool, very funny. You're epic, Satan. You're awesome, and I'm here, John. Okay, well. John doesn't look too good. Okay, this... You know, I'm starting to think this game may not be all that holy. What do I do? Okay, wait, progress. Perhaps. Aha! The way forward. Hello. John is back. Can I go up? It looks like an arrow is pointing down. Okay, and down we shall go. But not down to hell. No, no, no. Why so slow, John? Oh, he's going uphill. I see. I guess we will return. John needs to hit the gym. This man cannot even walk up a hill. I pray for his knees. Candy tunnel. That sounds quite nice. Death awaits. It said candy tunnel. Do I have my cross? I do have my cross. Doesn't do anything there, however. Okay. A key, it says. Satan lives. This music sure is something. Satan lives. Yeah, hello. Hi. Perhaps this way? Oh. Okay. Read. Read what? Excuse me? Is there something back here that I should be reading? Onward we go. Hi. Yes, I know the drill, Gabe. Feels a bit cheap. Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Was that the dusk cult symbol on the wall? I know not this dusk game. Any game about cults doesn't sound like something that I would participate in. Perhaps this is the symbol you're referring to? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I feel like I've done something wrong. It feels like my only option is Mortis. Am I reading the situation incorrectly? Let's see. You're not reading is the problem. It says read and pointing at a pillar, right? It does say that, but what am I supposed to read? Oh! When? Wow, enlightening. Don't. Move. Oh. You it. Okay. Okay, okay. When you see it, don't move. That I can do. I did not realize I could read the pillar in such a way. Hello. Ah, I see that me taking out my holy symbol is considered movement by the game. That, now I understand. This was a bit unclear, but I guess now that I think about it, that does sound like a bit of a movement. Try exercising it when it shows its back. When does it show its back? Hello? Well, I have done it again. I thought it was showing me its back. Let's give it another good old priestly try. Whole lot of mort. I do a bit of morting. I think I just have to let him go away. Goodbye. I am nothing. Is he going to come back now? He'll be in the next room. Or perhaps not. Nothing? There is a hole in the wall. That's a bit concerning. Can I look in it? I can go in it. Oh, interesting. Does it take me so? It does take me here. Arrows pointing up? Oh my. Feel like I've discovered something. Using my God-given intellect to decipher. And we're out. Somewhere. And perhaps we're back in now. What is this way? Is what I would like to know. Okay. Maybe perhaps something I should avoid. We are now in pitch darkness. What could go wrong here? Okay, there's walls. I guess I'm just going... Okay, Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I did Mortis, didn't I? Okay, I need to search, probably. So, search for something before I go in there. A light, perhaps. In the words of the prophet Mario, did you bring a light? Oh, I apologize. That was the prophet Luigi. There's my flashlight. Oh. Hi. 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 Oh, where is he gone? Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I see you. I see you. I see you. Got him. Yes. I do believe the prophet Luigi also said, remember, where there's smoke. Perhaps that was Mario. I can never seem to remember. These are obscure prophets. A bit unorthodox in their preachings. Okay, so now we will go this way. I don't know if I should avoid the symbols on the floor. Not so scary this time, are ya? Okay. Silent exorcism? Is that what that said? Uh-oh. I'm hearing something that doesn't sound too good. What's going on over here? They hate the light. Well, that just won't do. That just won't do.
It's locked.
Okay, that much I can see. Thank you, John. Let's see. There are symbols on the... Hello? Okay, they have disappeared. They hate the light. Perhaps this is a communication. There are many of the same symbols again. Back, foul demon. Oh my god, oh my god. Stay away. Hi. Stay back, stay back, stay back. Through the, how do I, what are you doing? How do I get through? Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Oh, Christ in heaven. This is scary. Okay. On our way, then. I don't see anything in the darkness this time, but a key, perhaps. Okay, hello, Lego people. Did I get the key? I would like it. Thank you. Thank you, game. Ah, light. Finally, it only took... Does not seem like I can get over there just yet. Let's go back to where the key is used. We still have bad things in this room? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Go away. Go away, please. Door open. Okay. And back in the light again. Good. Hello? Aha! Yes! Okay. Is this Father Gonzalez or whatever his name was? Okay. Together. Together. I don't know what's happening. Father Garcia's, thank you. Finally, someone recognizes I did not commit murder. I think Father Garcia is right. Is correct. The name. Hello again. Okay. Yikes. Oh, Nope. Nope. Stay away. Look at these sick parries. The Lord has granted me the reflex required to execute sick parries. Didn't protect my bro. I didn't realize I was supposed to be. Should I reload, perhaps? Well. Sometimes the Lord works in mysterious ways. Okay. This time I will protect my bro. Hello. Yikes.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror in the night, nor the evil that walketh in darkness. I shall behold the
Gaming.
of the wicked.
Godly gaming.
The Lord my refuge. There shall no evil befall me, for
Excuse me, game. This is why I don't play video games. All right, Father Garcia.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror in the night, nor the evil that walketh in darkness. I shall behold the reward of the wicked, because I have made the Lord my refuge. There shall no evil befall me.
Okay, he's dead. Whatever, I guess. I'm sorry. I have failed you, brother. But I will avenge you. We've done it! Or have we? Well, we're back in the dark. Where did she go? Excuse me? Back. Back. Back, I say to you. Mortis. This is indeed a loud boss. She does like to scream, it seems. Yeah, I am glad that the bosses save between phases. Oh, no screaming this time, huh? She done? She's not done. She's moving in a sine wave, a very unholy sine wave. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I suppose I should have done something about that. Something other than Mortis. Begone, foul witch, with your sine waves. Oh. Interesting movement patterns. I think I just have to walk away, perhaps. Okay, what is going on now? Oh, she's going to move around the pentagram. Big sine waves. Wow. Okay. That is clearly the work of Satan. No. Oh. Yes, I know, I know. That was a close one. She sounds like a fax machine. Dial-up internet. The boss. Thought I did that one already. I don't think I understand what I'm supposed to do in that one. Do I just have to hit her with the cross? Is that my only option? A common dilemma in the world of being a priest. Except for that. I don't know about this one. Hi. Hello. Oh, the Lord sure is testing me on this one. Did not get very much damage there. Pentagram time. Got her. Big sine wave. She will do this. Have we done it? No. I swear I was aiming it at her, but I guess not. Hello, 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 one of you. Wow. Wow. Wow, that was a bit lucky. There it is. Hello? Please, ma'am, I'm trying to exercise you. Have some respect for a man of the Lord. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay. All right. Okay. This boss is very clearly the work of Satan. Didn't realize that this game was developed by Satan. Yes, I know, I know, I know. Well, I do not want to get cornered. No, 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 no. Okay. I don't know why that one was so fast, but... Okay. Okay, another attempt. God, give me strength. There we go. Do your thing. There we go. I hate this. Sorry, I should not use the word hate, but you know what? Hate may be a word of the devil, but it's fitting for this. I hate it. Get me out of here. Can a mod ban the sinner? I'll do it myself. I will do it myself, I guess. Man, it was just a mistake. Got a little lucky with that one. Okay. Get out of the way of that one. Okay. There we go. Okay. Move. When does this end? Give me Lord, for I've sinned. And I will continue to sin if this boss continues to be annoying as heck. Okay. Gaming is occurring. Why does it do that? Didn't think she would go that far. I'm dead. How long does this go on for? Because I am already over it. Okay, she just stops doing that one eventually.
this.
Just won't get near her. There we go. Why teleport so much? Okay, almost did not get out of that in time. How is that not the right direction? This boss truly was sent by Satan. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Clearly, this one had the work of Satan in it. Clearly. What on earth was that? Was that not the... Okay, I guess I don't understand. I'm dead. I'm not dead. Those two moves look awfully the same, which is why I am a bit confused occasionally. Just whatever you gotta do. Okay. All right. She got a bit close for comfort there. Please tell me we're done. There we go. Oh, man. John is awake. Another dream, perhaps. Morning breaks. Oh, still in chapter 2, huh? Alright. What is this? Oh, my shoulder. It's a little bit sore. Okay. It's clearly the devil has entered my body through this unholy game. I must purge it out. John, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. I will always love you back, Molly. New lore just dropped. What is going on here?
I'm not going in there.
Okay. Understood, John. What is this? John, it is not too late. Your soul could still be saved. All is not lost. Please wait for my next letter. For now, I have many questions that need answering. In the meantime, be careful. They are watching you. Father Garcia. Father Garcia, I suppose that was only in my dream.
But did I really do the right thing? I don't know what is real anymore. My faith is weak, and I feel a dark shadow over me. If I can save the boys, maybe I will find what I'm looking for.
Okay. Chapter 2. I don't even know how I would have gone about getting a different ending. I apologize, John, Father Garcia, and, you know, good Lord in heaven above. I don't know where I went wrong, but we will take it. I think I will move on to chapter 3. After a quick break. Hang on just a second.